Page 36, bass clef note A. So they're just adding one note to what we did. Remember we did this B, C, D, E previously, and now they're adding one note. They're adding A. So A is on the top line of the bass clef. So now we have two notes in the bass clef. We have A and B, and then we have C, which could be either hand, D and E. All right. So we have a little left hand warm up here. Okay. So I'm going to count. And I'm going to say the letter and count at the same time, just like I did in the previous one, and try to learn how to do that because it's a great way to do both at the same time. You can keep track of the beat and count. All right. So, all right. And actually, I'm going to put the metronome. Well, let's see. I'm going to put the metronome on. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let's see. I'm going to do. Sorry about that. Okay, metronome. All right. All right. That's a little bit fast still. Let's do 65. Okay. All right. By the way, if you know how to operate your metronome, you can, not with the video, but separately, you can put your metronome on 65 and do this if you want to practice it separately. Okay. So left hand, thumb on C. Okay. 1, 2, ready, play. C to B to A to B to C B A B C B A B A C 2 3 4, and then you'd repeat it. Okay, so you can play it twice as a repeat sign. Okay, now that may have been a little fast for you. If you couldn't keep up, no problem at all. Just pause the video, just stop the video, and you can resume later once you've practiced that a little bit more. Okay, so moving on to the next part, okay, of the page where it says to tap and clap the rhythm. Okay, now for this you're going to count to 4 in each measure. Okay, and we did that previously. So I'm going to have you do that by yourself, okay, as kind of a warm-up. If you have any trouble, you can ask me in person, but you should be okay with doing that. All right, so basically, again, you're clapping the notes and you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so again, if you have questions, you can always ask, but you should know how to do that. Now, next thing is it says look through the piece and note the form A, B, A. Now we had a little introduction to form before, and so they marked those in here so you can see that's the form we're going to be taking. And then thirdly, it says play, observing the forte, the piano, and the accent marks. So that little thing that looks like this, that's the accent mark, where you hit it a little bit harder, play a little bit harder, okay? So Russian folk song. All right, and oh, by the way, it says here, so you gotta fill in these at the beginning here. So 1 on, so that's the bottom note. So what's that bottom note? Remember the one that has the line through it. Okay, the only one that has just a little line through it, that's your C, that's your middle C. And then the first line, you can always use this diagram if you're not sure, and you can see that first line is E, okay? So go ahead and put right in there, one on C, put a C on the bottom, and then put E on the top. Okay, so that's what you're gonna start with. You're gonna start with fingers 1 and 3 on those 2 notes, okay? All right, so I'm gonna do, so right hand, that's where you have the C and the E, okay? Just play those together there, the C and E, that's where we want it. So middle C, and then a third above that, all right? That's C and E that we just wrote in the blank. And then the bottom one, oh, I forgot, the bottom one also has a little line. It says 3 on, and then what's that note there in the left hand? Look at that, see if you can find that in the diagram above. Which one does that look like? So you can see it's top line in the bass clef, top line in the bass clef. So it's A, okay? So that's gonna be 3 on A, so you can go ahead and write that in there. So that tells you, remember we're not gonna have the little diagram with your hand position anymore. It's just gonna tell you the finger number to start on, and then you have to read the notes, read the letters, then you know. So 1 and 3, C and E. And the left hand, 3 on A. So there's actually a little bit of an overlap here. Your thumb, both thumbs are kind of gonna be on middle C, all right? Now be careful because sometimes in this song, well, actually all of this song, you're gonna play middle C with the right hand, so don't play it with the left hand when you see that middle C, all right? And it'll be in the top line, so it shouldn't be too confusing. All right, here we go. So, okay, Now we're gonna go ahead and play all three of these at the same time, okay? And I'll just kind of walk you through this, all right? So go ahead and play all three of those notes, and then again, and again, and a fourth time. And then the second measure, you play second finger on D twice, C twice, and then second finger on B, and it's a half note, and then A, third finger, all right? Let's go on to the next page. Again, get your fingers ready. The 1 and 3 in the right hand, 3 in the left, okay? So you have that chord there. Ready, go. Together, 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 together. D, D, C, C, B, 2, A, 2. Next line. Second finger on B. 1, B, 2, 3, C, D, D, C, C, B, 2, A, 2. Sorry. And then the next line, measure 10, this is another B section. It's the same, but it's piano, so it's like an echo. So then you're going to play as quietly as you can, okay, on that. So it's third finger on, second finger on B, okay, second finger on B, and then first finger on C. Those are your first two notes, okay? Ready, go. B, 2, 3, C, D, D, C, C, B, 2, A, 2. All right. Now the last line, I'll give you a sec to get there. Okay. Again, we're going to play this chord again. So make sure third finger on A, first finger on C, third finger on E. Okay. And we'll play those together 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next measure. D, D, C, C. Left hand 2, B, 2, E, 2. Left hand 3, A, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now I know that was a lot, so feel free to go back and practice a little bit, and then go back. You can go back and play this with the video, and then again, if that's as before, if that's really easy for you, you can play it fast, because this is really, it is a little bit faster. It's probably about that speed, which on the metronome 2, 3, 4 is about 120. Okay, so if you wanted to, get it up to speed, then 120 would be like the max. But that's only if it's really easy for you. You can try to get it faster, and then you can also transpose it. In the bottom right-hand corner of the second page, you'll see that